Good morning. My name is Sasha Korniak, and this is allistrue.org. This morning is the first morning, or the day after, I have successfully passed my Togaf certification. I did both exams yesterday afternoon after completing the training course, and I successfully passed. Which is great. And what I wanted to do was give a bit of an explanation to the idea of enterprise architecture and Togaf and what it actually could mean and does mean as an explanation to people, because it seemed to me that on the course there were some people that were a bit confused on why they were there, and also they had some very difficulties of understanding the differences between enterprise architecture, the idea of solution architecture or solutions architect, and then technical architecture or technical architects. So here is, and I have to say thank you for the Knowledge Academy for producing this huge amount of 855 pages of course material, and I have the same amount of documentation from the open source group around the Togaf PDF, which is probably over 1,000 pages. The course is around about 3.5 to 4 days, depending on your trainer. I have to say a big thank you for the wisdom, support and guidance of Pete Thompson, who was the trainer at the Knowledge Academy in London. Fantastic trainer, really supportive, and helped me understand some of the intricacies and some of the correlations within the enterprise architecture and how it works in the real world versus the way in which the open group would like to claim it does. So if you imagine from the point of view, let me just go to my slide so I can see it myself. You've got business strategy at the top, and that's really the organisation. So you're talking about the chief executive officer, or you're talking trustees in a non-for-profit or charity, or the board of directors. You're talking about C-level organisations or managing director. They're the people at the top for business strategy. Togaf, enterprise architecture, comes right underneath that. Next, you're going to have business capabilities as an overarching area across all your different areas of your business. We are talking about the enterprise here, even though it can be done at scale. So you're talking about the global platform. Underneath that, you're going to have your planning frameworks, and this is where the difference is between enterprise architecture and some of the other planning frameworks and some of the things underneath there. Some of you may be familiar with something called P3O. So that's Portfolio Project Manager. That sits underneath that, and usually sits in all of the different parts of the organisation. Underneath that, you're going to have program management, which is MSP, which some people will know that, and obviously portfolios are made up of lots of programs. Underneath that, you're going to have the next station, which is going to be your projects, which is one thing that I think most people get really confused around, which is going to be Prince2, Agile DSDM, and then possibly going down into Scrum and ITIL as well, even though that could be really around service delivery, and also Scrum could be used really in a different area. What I noticed was there was a lot of confusion around from the point of view of thinking about the solution that's going to be designed. Really, to some extent, you don't get within enterprise architecture. That's not the reason. That's not the point of architecture, of enterprise architecture. So the point around it is not to. It's to provide all of the information, knowledge, and conditions of what needs to be created without being too specific, so people can go off and create a solution. And that's what I think a lot of people really struggled with on the course, is they thought that they're actually, when you look at it from the point of view of the ADM, you actually only get round to the point of migration planning. What you actually don't get to do is execute that actual planning. That's not the point of an enterprise architecture. So that's a bit of a snapshot really from the point of view of how I see it fitting together. I'm going to do another one of these blogs around how to prepare for this before you actually go on the course. And also then I'm going to do deep dives into enterprise architecture, and also something a little bit different is I'm actually going to apply it. I'm actually going to show you proper examples of how you can do things like, for example, the enterprise continuum, and also make sure that I have a great belief, and demonstrated this as well, around the actual repositories. Around the architectural repositories, around where you store things, really should be metadata driven. They should not only be metadata driven, but they should be artificially intelligent through data cataloging, metadata insertion. And what that really congregates as is not only people labeling and categorizing the actual documents, but actually allowing the data cataloging to go away and look at commonalities and causality between different documents and different standards that may exist, presenting them back to the architects for them to actually make sure that it's true. Because if you're dealing with an organisation that has global business units and multi-armed as conglomerates or corporations, or something that has lots of moving parts, it's going to be impossible for people to carry on actually managing the repositories and keeping them up to date from a good administration or librarian point of view, or taxidermy if you want to use posh words, which is just another way of saying categorisation. And really this now needs to actually be done by computers using metadata really as the crux of the whole way it needs to work. So a lot of information there. Hopefully it's been a short amount of time and you've enjoyed it. For people that need to know, you now know I am certified, not only from the point of view of TOSCA, but certified as well probably in life after going through the course and the material. Thanks very much. My name is Sasha Korniak, and this is a presentation brought to you by allistrue.org.